welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. Today is Top 5 Wednesday. I decided I was going to do last week's Top 5 Wednesday and this week's Top 5 Wednesday today. Top 5 Wednesday was started by Lainey over at GoodReads Lainey. I will link to her channel in the description below, and also I will link to the GoodReads group so you can visit all the Top 5 Wednesdayers. So let's get started. Last week's Top 5 Wednesday was Top 5 cover buys. So I'm going to start with that one. Coming in at number 5 for me is Eon. This is by Allison Goodman. Look at that cover. Now, I'd also heard some stuff about this book, and it just happened to be one day I went into the bookstore and they had it, and it just popped out to me, and I'm like, oh, look at that cover. Oh, this is Eon. We're going to buy it. So I did. Coming in at number 4 is The Rise of the Worm Lord by Wayne Thomas Batson. This was on our sales rack. This one and the third one, which was the green cover. And I'm like, look at that cover. And I opened it up, saw a beautiful map inside, and then this cover was amazing as well. So I had to buy it. I didn't really read a whole lot about it. I picked it up, this one, and its sequel. And then I went out and bought book number 1. So hopefully I enjoy that series. Coming in at number 3 is Dracula, The Return. Well, it says The Return on the back, but it's actually The Undead. This is a sequel to the first Dracula. And look at this cover. But that wasn't the most amazing thing. The inside is the letter in the journal that the book is wrote in. And then here he returns. And then this spine. Gorgeous. And I found this one actually at our local Big Lots. We were in there for something and they had this book. I had to pick it up. Next one coming in at number 2 for me is Magic. This is by Angie Sage. Look at that cover. And this one I absolutely did pick up just on the cover alone. I did not read the synopsis. I just thought, I gotta have this book. I breezed through it like this and picked it up. Coming in at number 1 for me, Black Beauty, and this is by Anne Sewell. This was my favorite childhood book. And of course it wasn't this gorgeous. This is a storybook cover. Look at this, the spine, and even the back. And I saw it sit on the shelf. I said, okay, gonna buy it. I already know what the book's about, so no need to worry about that. So I picked it up. And that is my top 5 cover buys. I knew I just really wanted to do this one because I love covers. Absolutely love covers. Okay, so we're moving on to the next top 5, and this one is top 5 books we wish we'd read earlier. And I know we all sit around and say, oh, I should have gotten this sooner because it was so good. Well, I do that too. So coming in at number 5 for me on this one is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I read this one at the beginning of the year. Bought the book, it sat on my shelf, I kept hearing people talk about it, then heard there was a movie coming, and I thought, okay, it's time to read it. So glad I finally picked it up and read it. And then coming in at number 4 for me, Obsidian by Jennifer Armentrout. This was an absolutely fantastic read. I just read this at the end of June, or I think it was the end of June. And loved the book. It's on aliens. Absolutely adored it. So I have the rest of them on my Kindle, and I'm going to get to them very soon. And then coming in at number 3 is the Joe Ledger series by Jonathan Mayberry, starting with Patient Zero. Absolutely loved this whole series, as y'all know. I'm not going to go on and on about it again because I can't go on and on about it. And this is absolutely fantastic series. I have one left to read, that's Code Zero, and there's 2 more coming. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing that one and the next 2 to come. So, if you have not read Jonathan Mayberry, read it. Okay, and then coming in at number 2 for me is Angel Fall. This one and World After, both. These are by Susan E. And I absolutely loved the series. So very good. It's a series on angels, the apocalypse. Loved it. Put the 2 together, you get a great story. If you haven't read them, read them. And then coming in at number 1 for this one is Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter. I had seen Kieran Reeds talk about this months and months ago. And I kept saying, oh, I'm going to get that book. I'm going to read it. Bought the book at Christmas, I want to say. And then just sat on my shelf until just in June. So all that time it sat there saying, please read me. And I didn't. So I'm glad I finally did. If you've not read this, you should really try it out. I do have Through the Zombie Glass on my Kindle, which I'm planning to read next month. So yeah. And that is my top 5 books I wish I'd read earlier. And I'm so glad I read all of them finally. And there's so many more that I wish I would read soon. I keep saying I'm going to read. What are some of your most favorite cover buys? And what are some of the books that you wish you'd read sooner? Thanks guys for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.